Hello, people. Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. My name is James Williams Jr., and today I want to blog about a few things, being that it is Saturday the 19th and it is almost 5 p.m. Alright, for those who are on American time. I've talked about a lot of things on my videos. I may have offended people. I may have pushed some boundaries that probably a lot of people aren't brave enough to push. Well, sometimes if you want to make a statement, you have to be brave. Now, in making a statement, I'm not talking about like terrorist actions and shit like that. I'm not talking about doing dumb stuff that injure other people. If you want to be noticed, there are ways of going about being noticed without making a big stink. That's my belt buckle for those who have a dirty mind. Anyway, you know, when it comes down to the American lifestyle, and I have touched on things that have probably offended people who are non-American, and it probably has offended some of us Americans about things that we do that have really gone down in the class of you shouldn't do that, don't be stupid, someone needed to teach you right from wrong when you were a child. I have also mentioned how that once the government took ass whippings out of our homes, the crime level shot from down here to way up here. And since we can't discipline our children by way of belts now, it becomes a problem. No matter how we slice it, we're wrong. If we spank them, we're wrong. If we yell at them, we're wrong. If we do nothing, then we're wrong because they don't know. We can't teach them about consequences, and everything goes to hell in a handbasket, which again is not our fault. It's the way that the world works because we're not allowed to spank the ass of a child. And there's a difference between an ass whooping and all out abuse. Alright? You don't abuse your children, you discipline them. And sometimes talking to them doesn't always work. I got spanked. I've never been physically locked in jail. I have had handcuffs for being at the right place at the wrong time. It happens to the best of us. And I step up and I own my stuff. Yeah, sometimes I say some hypocritical stuff, and sometimes I am a hypocrite. I will gladly face the music on that. It's sometimes, I might not meant to be a hypocrite. I might have found a better way of wording things, but you're going to take it any way you want anyway. So, I just wanted to touch on a few things, that kind of gets me upset in the world. The lack of respect, the personal black on black racism that I've faced most of my life, and cultural divides. We all bleed red, and I've said this before. I don't know if I've put it on video, so if I have, good, and if I haven't, here it goes. I think that everyone should spend a day in another culture. Just one day, maybe a week. I'm already part Native American, but I've never been to a reservation. So if I could spend a week at a reservation, and learn tribal things, I might have a little bit more love and respect for my culture. That's not really a problem because I do have a lot of love and respect for my culture because my dad's grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee, and she taught me a lot of things about her tribe and how it came from the Powhite or Powhite Reservation really close to Richmond. Okay. Now, as for how she got the last name Wallace, I have no idea. I don't care. And it's not going to really get too deep into my skull. And the same thing with she married a Ford. Alright? So my grandmother Clara was a Ford, and her mother before her was a Wallace. I wish we would have kept Ford instead of her marrying a Williams, But hey, it happens. So now I'm at the back of the alphabet and all that other stuff. Now, the thing about having me being multicultural, I am part black, I am part white, I am part Native American, and I am proud for the most part of my cultural differences. Right up until somebody in one of my cultures or the other does something incredibly stupid and gets us noticed. See, it's cool to fly under the radar. Because, as a member of the Army, sometimes it's better not to volunteer. However, if you're the only one who can get the job done, then you should probably volunteer. Yeah, that was hypocritical, but it's also military truth. Now, I make these videos to please an audience until my actual Kung Fu stuff can be recovered and put up. Well, the computer that I'm on right now, I can't get the other stuff to collaborate with this computer. The old tech doesn't work with the new tech. So there we have a fucking problem. So in that, I put up all these videos to just hold you guys over until I get everything I need done. Once I get everything I need done, everything's going up. Everything's going to be there, and the chips are going to fall where they may. I have to semi-retirement, especially since I need another hip replacement on my right hip. So if you haven't seen the scars, I'll show them to you. No, this is for those who aren't weak-eyed. No. So there. Got enough light? Maybe not. Lean a little bit. So, let's say you guys don't think that I'm bullshitting you about the hip replacement. Yeah, the struggle was real, and so was the aftermath. I still have some pain issues, so I have a limit on sitting and standing, so it makes getting a job a little bit difficult, or finding a job that will tolerate that. Plus, I'm not allowed to do any heavy lifting, so that kind of puts me in a bind. And it is what it is. So, in closing on that part of the situation, I have to deal with it as best I can. I'm a little mad that, there's always these new TV shows and things that I'm into, but I can't get those jobs. And I'm like, where do I go to get these jobs? I will gladly spend a night in a haunted house. Hey, no fear here. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I'm not going after Bigfoot. No, most of the time, ghosts can't hurt you unless you let them in. And a lot of times, there are some ghosts that are more afraid of you than you are of them. It also depends on what your spiritual beliefs are, I guess. And I'm not an atheist. I do believe in God. Granted, him and I haven't been on the same page in quite some time. But, I keep it out there, and you live and you learn. And the thing is, you got to respect the supernatural. You have to respect the supernatural. And that will be my next video after the video of Respect the Staff. My name is James Williams Jr. Thank you very much for tuning in.